Guys, I think I found my husband. So it all started 2 days ago. I was at a coffee shop and I saw this cute guy walk by. He was wearing a beanie. We caught eyes, but he got his coffee and then left. End of that day. Moving on to the next day, minding my business, working out at the gym. And who do I see at my gym? It's coffee shop guy. I don't know about all you other girls, but I give everyone a nickname. And my roommate was there with me. So I think he looks like a mini Jay Alvarez. If you don't know who Jay Alvarez is, that's what he looks like. Got the same surfer boy hair. I'm hoping that's what his body looks like underneath. I mean, from what I could see that was unclothed, it was looking pretty good.
I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
There's certain things you can always count on in life. Broken clocks will always be right twice a day. Die Hard will always be an awesome movie regardless of the time of year. And modern women will see Lord Chaddington in the wild and instantly assume he wants to marry her. She knows literally nothing about this guy, only that he works out, has surfer hair, and yet still has an apparent affinity for beanies. But that's more than enough for her. She doesn't know if the guy is single or even if he's straight. But just one look at him and she already assumes that he's gonna want to marry her. And at no point does it even dawn upon this chick that this dude gets a say in anything. She says, I see a hot guy and he's gonna marry me. The second this guy realizes that you post your everyday life on TikTok, he's gonna avoid you like the plague known as main character syndrome, and that's just for his own health.
So obviously I'm too scared. I don't go up to him at the gym. Plus, I don't know, do you guys want girls to go up to them at the gym? They're in the zone, you know? And me and my roommate are about to leave, but I convinced her to do a lap around the gym one more time so I can see it. Nowhere to be found, so we leave. As we're walking out, he's right in front of us. So we're walking out and he holds the door open as we leave. All I can say is thank you. Another missed opportunity.
Are you sure?
I don't see how you could be minding your own business at the gym, but then decide to stalk the poor guy who just wanted to work out in peace. And you have the gall to wonder if it's socially acceptable to hit on a guy in the gym, even though modern women have made it abundantly clear that if a man were to shift his vision for a quarter of a second in her general direction, then he's a stalker. But because it's Czar Chadsky, it's totally fine for you to stalk him at the gym because the concept of double standards is completely lost on you. And for the record, you haven't missed an opportunity with this guy. He did what a large number of men do and kept the door open for the next person. It's the same standard you hold to us 80% of the time, and all we ask is the same of you in return because it's only fair. This wasn't an opportunity for a conversation or even a flirtation. Men have better things to do with their time than hang out and chat in gym vestibules.
So later that day I post on my story and tag the gym and say, hi, my name is Kellen and I hope I can meet you. My hope is that the gym reposts my story and for some reason he's following and he sees it. I have no idea how old this kid is, anything about him, but you know, shoot my shot. Follow along for more updates.
And once again, just like clockwork, we see the blatant double standards modern women hold towards men. Now, woman, let's say that the tables were turned and it was a man who made a post on the gym's social media page and he somehow tracked you down and sent you a message. Would you find this to be a romantic gesture from your future husband, or would you immediately post a video on TikTok about how you feel unsafe at the gym? It all depends on how attractive that man is, because in your eyes, there's a fine line between serendipity and social media stalking. Intentional or not, you just asked for the employ of tens of thousands of internet strangers to track down a guy just because you found him physically attractive. That's not normal, nor is it acceptable behavior. It's an invasion of privacy, and that is shameful.
Shame on you, and shame on you, and shame on your whole ill-mannered town.
What is the craziest thing that you've ever done to get some?
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
I'm a little I've drove like 4 hours for some before.
Really?
I've hopped on a flight for some before.
That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty.
Is it just me, or does this broad think that the lengths she's going to perform her boudoir antics are somehow impressive? Because if we look through the window of double standards, which we constantly do, if a man gets on a flight for the same reason, he's either a simp, a moron, or desperate. Any way you slice it, it's not gonna look good for him. But when you do it, it's a funny story, or at the very least, just one of those things. It's kind of crazy how only freaks girls openly talk about their conquests as if it's some kind of a flex, but they remain blissfully unaware that this kind of behavior behavior makes her unappealing to almost every single self-respecting man across the globe. It's not nearly as impressive as you think, woman. The higher your body count, the lower your value. And this has been common knowledge since the dawn of time.
Like, I've had crazy places for,
Like where?
I've have, like, in a football announcement, like the press box area, I've done one of those.
Were you announcer?
No, not the announcer, one of the players.
Oh, what team?
This was back in college, so the Bobcats, Ohio University.
Oh, at Ohio University.
Yeah, this was back in college.
Oh, that's disgusting.
This might be a controversial take, but I have always been of the firm belief that a majority of American college students get up to some of the dumbest things imaginable during their tenure of higher education. I should know, I was one. Now, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of students out there who actually want to better themselves and get the most out of their college because they're getting degrees that actually matter. So they don't get up to the same antics, and that goes without saying, but come on, there are precious few things in life that are as rabid as American Midwestern college football. Just look at some of the stories about college students and their illegal shenanigans they get up to whenever their team wins or loses. Disturbing the peace, destruction of property, and straight up arson are some of the tamer tales of that particular aspect of college life. But I guess we can also add getting shameful into the press box on that particular list of accolades, and that just seems wrong. I honestly hope that dude's coach didn't find out about that little tidbit.
Women weaken legs.
And like those bounce houses that you like blow up and jump in, those are fun.
So those are all things that you've done just to get some, like you were, like, this is the only place we can right now. I'm gonna here.
Yeah, like if you don't have anywhere else to go or your place is too far, like, hey, let's get it in right here.
Emotional damage.
I don't think I'm alone on this when I say that stories like this make me long for the days of old, back when men were men and women had enough common sense to not accumulate a body count so large it makes the Hadley's Hope incident from Aliens seem like a quaint chapter in human terraforming history. There was a time that if a single woman had a body count of 1, she was considered unclean and unworthy of a mate. This wasn't about control. It was about an emotional bond that was essential for the home and the well-being of the children. It's basic biology and psychology, and those can't be disputed with imaginary social constructs. But those days have long since gone the way of the dodo, and they've been replaced with psychological damage and backwards ideologies. It almost makes you want to pray for the asteroid. Almost. I can't help but laugh at the cringe. Let's be real, if society's gonna crumble, you might as well have a few laughs in the meantime.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
I have an idea that might help women that are staying at home with their kids and whose partner tells them that they do nothing all day and that they better cook, they better clean, they better do everything because they're not going to get help from them because they work and do everything. I want you, Mom, I want you to be like, you know what, you're right. This job is so easy. It's so boring.
It is.
I have to stay home with the kids. I need something a little bit harder. So go get yourself a part-time job. But when you get yourself the part-time job, make sure that you get your hours opposite of his schedule so that he has to stay home with those kids while you're at work part-time, okay?
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
If modern marriages have taught us anything, it's that when a man is making enough money to ensure that the mother of his children will never have to work again, she will always find a pointless reason to be ungrateful. She has the incredible luxury of being a stay-at-home mom, and she's claiming her job is so hard that she doesn't have time to cook or clean, which are literally the bare minimum standards of what it takes to be a stay-at-home mom. But she somehow was able to not only concoct a cockamamie scheme to emotionally hurt her sole income-earning husband, but also post it onto social media. And at no point does she actually point out what she does all day, only that it's hard work. But what else can you expect from a woman who wears leopard print? It's the standard issue uniform for the middle-aged modern woman, complete with the attitude of a cat, sadistic, spoiled, and an overwhelming desire to be worshipped at all times.
So come back. I want you to come back home and be like, well, because you already know that the house isn't going to be clean. There's going to be no food cooked. But the kids might be alive. So when you come back, I want you to be like, that's dirty, that's disgusting, where's dinner? And he's gonna say, well, I was watching the kids all day. And you're gonna say, yeah, well, I watch the kids too when you're working, and the house is clean or whatever, and I expect the same from you. And if he's like, I can't, it's so hard. Really? It's hard? Thought it was easy. I thought it was easy. So you know what I'm gonna do now? Now this is what you gotta say, okay? Now I'm gonna get a full-time job. Yes, sir. And you gotta pay for daycare, buddy. You gotta pay half of daycare. Yeah, yes you do.
Give me cancer now, guy!
All right, woman, I'll bite. Let's create a fantasy world here. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that your husband is hardworking enough to earn an income to support the entire family, but he's also somehow so incompetent that he cannot run a household by himself or take care of his own children. Then my first question is, why the hell did you marry him? Seems like something you should know before you breed with him. And second, why would you endanger the safety of your kids just for the off chance so you can be needlessly petty? What on earth do you have to gain from that? What do your children have to gain from that? To me, it would be a lot less manipulative to just throw some dirty clothes in the washing machine and push a button, spend a half an hour cooking dinner, and running a vacuum out across the carpet than it would to have to do all of that, plus work a part-time job. And if what you're saying is true, then your entire plan is pointless because it's gonna be the same thing either way. The house is gonna be dirty and there's not gonna be any food on the table. So what is the point?
And you gotta clean and you gotta cook because now I'm working. That's what you tell them. Now I'm working, okay? And I'm helping you pay all these bills. And I'm not gonna be the only one. I'm not gonna be paying half these bills and doing all the cleaning and cooking. So you better get your fat ass up and you better cook, bitch. And you better clean. That's a good idea. And girls, when you do that, please let me know how that situation and experience goes for you. And if you're not in a relationship anymore, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
Hey lady, your husband is working his fingers to the bone to provide you with an ideal lifestyle that most people can't afford nowadays, and your reaction to this is to film yourself disrespecting him in the worst of possible ways. You're also swearing in front of your impressionable children. All you're doing is documenting evidence for his divorce lawyer. Now, you'll most certainly get child support, alimony, and sole custody of the kids, but even with that money coming in today's economy, you'll not only have to cook and clean, but also earn a full-time living with health insurance just to support your kids. Meanwhile, your ex will have to do the same thing when he has custody, but he'll be able to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and work at the same time. He'll most likely do a better job, not complain about it, and still find time to date if he feels like it. You have no idea what you're in for, woman. You need this man a hell of a lot more than he needs you. So my advice to you would be to put down the phone, pick up a frying pan, start cooking up some dinner, and close your mouth. And that is going to do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of humor is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, share this video with everyone around you so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. We may be on the express elevator to hell going down, but at least we can laugh our asses off on the way. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.